Hey everyone, it's Ashley and I'm back with a makeup tutorial. You guys saw me wear this look in my last video with kind of this really pretty soft looking eyeshadow, and this is actually courtesy of my friend here from YouTube, which is Sherry Lynne, and she sent me this gorgeous card which is super sweet and I'm gonna keep this forever because I love it. And she also sent me some products to test that she thought that I would love and she's a huge fan of. The first one is actually this Fergie concealer, and this is the Comb Correct concealer. It works awesome and I'm definitely going to give you guys a full review later on it. Also the Wet n Wild Coverall powder and several of the single eyeshadows, and she sent some really beautiful colors. The color Cheeky, which is a hot pink, Sugar, which is just a bright white, Nutty, which I know is a high-end dupe and I can definitely see why it's gorgeous, Unchained, very pretty sparkly kind of silver color, and Creme Brulee, just a lovely, kind of sandy color, Suede, which is a very pretty shimmery blue, and the final color was Panther, which is a gorgeous black color as well. Also for this tutorial, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Fergie blush in the color Brush with Destiny, and it's a really beautiful color. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and apply the Wet n Wild Comb Correct concealer to my under eye region so that it's nice and bright looking, and I find that's a great foundation for this look. So now that I look like a reverse panda, I'm going to go ahead and apply my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation and just apply it all the way around except for my under eye area. The next step is to actually prime my eyelids, and I'm going to be using the e.l.f. eyelid primer. This is $1 and it works awesome. Also going to fill in my eyebrows here using this really tiny shade brush from Eco Tools, which is one of my favorites, as well as my e.l.f. Little Black Beauty Book, and I'm going to use this brown shade right there. So now that I'm done with applying my base to my face, I'm going to take the Airspun Loose Face Powder and go ahead and add this right underneath my eyes, because this is kind of a messy eyeshadow look. You're going to do a lot of blending, so it definitely helps if you have something to kind of, brush away the excess. And this was definitely a tip I learned from Lisa Bruce, so one of my favorite things. So to create this eye look, we're actually going to start with the color Cheeky from Wet n Wild, and this is actually a really pretty hot pink kind of color with some shimmer to it. So this is a great base to start with, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and apply it to my eyelid, just concentrating on the eyelid and keeping it a little bit heavier there. And I am also using the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. And something to definitely keep in mind is, although you may look at an eyeshadow color and think, this is a really strong, heavy color, can I pull this off? You actually can. This is the hot pink color and it looks very vibrant and difficult to wear, but it actually blends out really well, and it looks actually very soft and pretty afterwards. And the next color we're going to use is Panther, which is the black single eyeshadow. And this one is a really pretty blending color. It does sound crazy to put a little bit of hot pink and black together, but they look really beautiful, trust me. So we're going to add this to the crease, and I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. C eyeshadow brush here, which just has kind of a flat but still rounded tip. And like I said, it's gonna look a little bit crazy when you first start. You're actually gonna bring it through the crease and then down into the corner here, just slightly. You're creating kind of a little V shape there. And try to keep the colors consistent as possible because you're gonna go ahead and blend this out and you wanna have a good blend. So I'm actually going to take my Eco Tools blending brush, and this is absolutely one of my favorite brushes ever. So if you guys happen to have an Eco Tools, you know, supplier near you, definitely check them out. Great deal. So what I'm gonna do is actually take this through the crease and blend pretty heavily here. Kind of like a windshield wiper motion, and then bringing this down and slightly up at the same time. And the key to the blending is not to be afraid to bring it up. You're going to use another shadow and it will make it work. So the next step after you've blended this out really well is to take the eyeshadow color Sugar, which is a very pretty bright white with a little shimmer to it, and you're going to apply it to actually the under eye section here, concentrating right in here, and if you want you can also bring it down right in here as well to just kind of highlight that whole section. Makes it a little bit more dramatic. I'm also going to use a standard eyeshadow brush for that. You want to make sure that the line is nice and soft. You can go back in with your blending brush and just blend it a little bit more again. And something that you can do if you find that any of the black has kind of transmitted towards your lid, you can go back in with the pink and just touch it up a little bit. The next step for this is actually to do some eyeliner, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Pixie jar, and this is a nice liquid eyeliner that actually comes with a softer pencil eyeliner as well, but I'm going to use the liquid one for this. And I'm going to create a nice fine line starting in this area, and right around this region I'm going to start to thicken it up and bring it out into a wing. So the last step for your eyes is to actually apply a mascara. I'm testing out the Wet n Wild Mega Plump Mascara, so I'm going to try that one out. So the next step here is to actually take your powder brush and to just brush away all of the excess powder under here, and it'll leave you with a nice flawless fallout free finish. So the next step is to apply blush. I'm going to go ahead and use the e.l.f. angled brush, and in combination with the Wet n Wild Fergie palette. This is actually the Brush with Destiny blush. It's supposed to be a 10-hour blush, and it's a really gorgeous color, so I think it works really well in combination with the eye look. And you can change your blush shape to coordinate with your facial shape, but for mine I have kind of angular sections right here, and it looks better when I tend to highlight those a little bit more, so I'm going to start my blush here and bring it down to my cheeks. So for this look, I didn't add any contouring. What I did was just kind of kept the focus on the eyes, and I'm going to do kind of a nice neutral colored mouth. I'm going to use the Almay liquid lipstick in Truffle Kiss, and this is just a really nice kind of neutral color. And there you go, that's the finished look. And if you use a mattifying powder, you can go ahead and add that as well. But overall, I find the foundation works really well, and I don't normally have to add anything to it. So this is the finished look. And if you guys have any questions, I would love to hear them and hopefully help you guys out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!